brothers and sisters around the world who are suffering, who are not enjoying the peace and tranquility and the freedom we are enjoying here. So let's remember them, follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and remember our fellow Muslims around the world. We make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He bestows His infinite mercy and blessings upon the entire ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. As we all know, in the month of Ramadan we fast, and we don't fast just from the stomach by mouth, but it's also a fasting of our limbs, like we discussed in the previous weeks. So fasting of the eyes, fasting of the tongue, hands, feet, everything. And then there's another thing which we do in the month of Ramadan, which is specifically for the month of Ramadan, and that is called Salatul Taraweeh. Now there is a difference of opinion within the Ummah recently, whether it should be 20 units, 20 rakats, or 8 units in Taraweeh. Now in the lifetime of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam offered Salatul Taraweeh one night, and people observed, the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, they observed that he offered Taraweeh. Second night, again, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam offered. Third night, he offered Salatul Taraweeh. And then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't come out to offer Salatul Taraweeh. And he cited the reason behind this. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that I feared that if I continue to do Salatul Taraweeh, it might have become made fard upon you. So that I didn't want it to be hard on you and for it to be made fard upon you. That's why I did not continue this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made fasting of the Ramadan fard for you, and I am making Salatul Taraweeh sunnatul mu'akkada for you. So don't leave this. So we need to clarify one misconception. People think it's a nafil. So nafil is optional, and sunnah is something which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, done, or allowed to be done in front of him. Is called the sunnah. And they are within the sunnah. We have two types of sunnah, and one is ghayr muakkada, which means that something which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam done and he also left out. So if you do, you get immense reward. If you leave out, you don't have any sin on you. And then we have something called sunnatul muakkada, which is a stressed sunnah, which is something Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam done regularly. And there's many kinds of sunnatul muakkada, and Salatul Taraweeh is one of them. Which means, in essence, if you leave Salatul Taraweeh without any valid excuse, you are leading towards sin. So you will be held accountable if you make it if you become habitual in leaving a sunnatul muakkada out. So that's one thing to clarify. With regards to this 8 rakats and 20 rakats. Now, a lot of the brothers, they use a hadith which is mentioned by Imam Bukhari, where Ummul Mu'mineen, the mother of the faithful believers, Amma Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, she was asked by one of the companions and said that, tell me, what was the night prayer of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam like in Ramadan and ghayr Ramadan, meaning other than Ramadan? So one thing we need to establish here, because in that hadith, Amma Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha mentions 8 plus 3, which we think is the witr, which Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray 8 rakats Salatul Tahajjud and 3 rakats witr. So this is the answer that Amma Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha gave, that he sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray 8 plus 3 or 11. So people are taking this because it's mentioned in Sahih Bukhari under the pretext of Ramadan. So anything related to Ramadan is mentioned in that chapter, shall I say, or that section. So people think that this question or the answer that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave was for the month of Ramadan. But if you go further on, Imam Bukhari in the chapter of Qiyamul Layl or Tahajjud mentions this same hadith. So why is Imam Bukhari, mentioning this hadith in the chapter of Ramadan, fasting, and the Taraweeh, and Qiyamul Layl? Why? Or Tahajjud? Because anything that has any significance or connection with Ramadan, he mentions in Ramadan. This is the way of Imam Bukhari. The question asked to Amma Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha was, how was the night prayer of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Ramadan and out of Ramadan? So that Ramadan word has come in, so it's mentioned in the bab or the chapter of Ramadan. But Sahih Muslim, Imam Muslim mentions the same hadith, but not in the chapter of Ramadan, only in the chapter of Qiyamul Layl or Tahajjud. So this is to clarify those who want to pray 8. By all means, if you want to pray 8, you pray 8. And if those of you who are, for example, like most of us, we want to be like scavengers, go for the good deeds, don't miss any good deeds out. So we pray the full 20. So you have, and where did this 20 adad come from? In the time of Hazrat Umar radiallahu, the second Caliph of Islam, Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala, he saw that many Muslims, they were praying separately. Some was praying here. Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala said, why don't we do a jama'ah in congregation? We all come together and we pray together. So this 20 units was made by Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. And so those who want to follow the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the companions and the Salaf Salihin, this is the way of Hazrat Umar radiallahu ta'ala. And moving on, with regards to Salat al-Taraweeh, I mentioned a couple of nights ago, as an incentive to those who do leave after 8 units, for each sujood that we make in Salatul Taraweeh, we get 1,500 good deeds. And for each sajda that we make in Taraweeh, we also have a nikah done with a hur in Jannah. So some of the sisters may have questions that if the brothers are getting this for each sujood in Taraweeh and so on and so forth, what about us? So I was reading about the description of the women of Jannah, and I came across something which is for the sisters. So those of you brothers who are married, when you go home, you can tell this to your other half, your spouse. So basically, in Jannah, when a man is shown his hur, his woman, and when he sees her, he says, his mind is blown. He's astonished. He's looking at her and he's just baffled. He's never seen something like this. And then the angels tell him, look, wait, not this one. Let's show another one. And then he's shown another hur. And she's just better than what he's seen before. And this silsila continues. He's shown a hur in Jannah and take your pick. Basically, he's told that choose your one. And they're just beautiful, mind-blowing. And then he's shown another hur. Now this one is different from the rest. She is absolutely amazing. So he looks at her and he's like, the other ones are nice, but this one's a bit extraordinary. So that's when he is informed. Now this is for the sisters. That's when he is informed that, you know who this is? Do you recognize her? He says, no, I don't recognize her. That's when he is informed that this is your wife from the dunya. Allah has made her 70,000 times more beautiful than the hur of Jannah. Why? Because she died with Iman, whilst her husband was pleased with her. The brothers, you can go home, tell your missus, keep me happy, die with Iman, inshallah you will be 70,000 times more beautiful than the most beautiful hur of Jannah, inshallah. May Allah allow us to, the main thing is without any discrimination or anything. You pray 8 rakats, good luck to you. You pray 20, don't stop us. We're hungry. We want the good deeds. We know this is the month to cash in. We've sowed the seeds. We want to reap the reward in this month. So we pray 20. Come, join us. Get extra reward. Don't discriminate. Let it be, inshallah. I've just given you the reasons why some have this thought that why it's 8 and the 20 where it came from as well. May Allah allow us to reap maximum benefits from this month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive us, accept our good deeds, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gather us all in Jannatul Firdaus in the neighborhood of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.